Okay, good morning and welcome to the director's cut commentary deleted bobbins for season 3, which has been TV themes. We'll talk about possible season 4 stuff later. We'll see how I'm feeling. But yeah, so why did I do TV? I did TV because, to paraphrase what Abed says in the finale of Community, TV's a friend, it's reliable, it's always there, it doesn't fuck you over like real people do. And, you know, the last couple of months have been pretty shit, to be honest. But getting lost in the nostalgia and the comfort, you know, I've not watched anything new. I've literally gone and rewatched so many things just because I know that they're there for me. And I know some people are going to think that's nuts, but hey, I'm a little nuts. We all go a little mad sometimes. But yeah, you know, the shows that I've been really losing myself in, things like Scrubs and Spin City and, you know, doing Buffy again, and God, the list goes on and on and on, and I can't even think. You know, I've redone Drawn Together, I've redone In-Betweeners, Fresh Meat. I've put on quite a bit of weight, but hey, I've got a... Can you see it from there? That way somewhere? I've got an exercise bike now, so I can watch TV and exercise. But you know, TV, it is my comfort, and maybe I rely too much on that, but hey, the real world can be pretty fucking horrible sometimes, and people can be shit, and knowing that you can sort of lose yourself has helped a lot. And it also, I think, you know, seeing how fictional characters that you have become attached to deal with everyday emotions, it's reassuring, it's comforting, and yeah, I hope I'm getting my point across, because I know what I mean, and yeah. But yeah, I did it as an A to Z just for ease of doing it as an A to Z, really. So we started at A and we did the Addams Family because I just love that. There were a few other thoughts. There was watch out, 'cause here we come. You know, Chipmunks, which was just dreadful show, but we loved it, and our parents hated it. And yeah, I remember the Christmas that Luke got this Alvin. He must have been like, I don't know, 3, 4, but he loved it. And so I did think about doing that. I also thought I did get some Fry and Laurie in, but a bit of Fry and Laurie, I don't know whether that was an A or a B. But the one song that I always just adored from a bit of Fry and Laurie, there's, you know, I think I discussed in the Jeeves and Wooster episode, like, I'm Bertie Wooster, or at least I was when I was little. So, you know, Hugh Laurie, he's just a delightful buffoon. You know, I loved House. We'll come on to House in a bit. There could have been a lot of Hugh Laurie in this, actually. But I did think about doing, there's an episode where he's just dressed basically as Bruce Springsteen, and he's at the piano and he just goes, America, 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 America. And he just goes on. It's just one of the funniest musical bits that I remember of theirs. But no, Addams Family, I did it because I adore the Addams Family. I really do. It's one of those shows that I'll stick on when I'm feeling really shitty. And B obviously was always going to be Buffy. I mean, you know, I've got this whole shelf here of Buffy figures because I'm allowed to have them out now because they would have been a bloody nightmare to put away and hide. I'm fine, by the way. But no, I kind of, simply for the bare naked ladies-ness of it, I did consider doing the Big Bang Theory. I don't love the Big Bang Theory. I did, but it then sort of stopped being what it was. And I always felt my biggest issue with that show was there was always the implication that Leonard wasn't good enough for Penny. But Penny was never good enough for Leonard. Penny was an arse. And I did think about doing, just so I could do, hang on. Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the Earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built the wall, we built the pyramids. Math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with the Big Bang. Since the dawn of man is really not that. Anyway, just because I love bare naked ladies, but I think we all got enough of them in season 1, so you know. So yeah, B was for Buffy. C was for Community, which, as I said at the time, the finale of Community, yes, everything kind of goes downhill after Troy leaves, because I sort of come to realise that Troy is a necessity in order to keep Abed grounded, and the show, in losing Troy, loses its grounding. It all becomes far too surreal because it's kind of becoming in Abed's head, and that's not what you want. It's not, you know, Abed lives his life through TV tropes, and it almost becomes too meta in losing Troy. But then the finale is just, when they all see their different images for season 7, it's wonderful. It really is. And, you know, the moment when Jeff hugs Abed goodbye it's just a beautiful moment. It really is. But no, I did think about, for a while I was going to do Count Dracula, but I couldn't work out how to play it. In the heart of Transylvania, in the Vampire Hall of Fame, but I couldn't work out how to play it, but never mind. Because I remember, I think I got a Count Dracula video at a boot sale once, because I really loved it. And yeah, but anyway, a really quite obvious one for C, and I didn't do it, but I did do DuckTales in the end, was going to be Chip and Dale, because that was probably my favourite of the Disney Club shows when I was growing up. So I'm going to give you a little bit of that now, because it's a great theme tune. Is this the one that I use? I think it is. Hang on. Yep. Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two dumb shoes are picking up the slack. There's no case too big, no case too small. When you need help, just call Chip and Dale. Rescue Rangers, Chip and Dale. When there's danger, no, it never fails once they're involved. Somehow whatever is wrong gets solved. Chip and Dale. Shit, that's why I didn't do it, because it's got loads of key changes. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. Yeah, anyway. Goes through about 4 key changes. But yeah, no, I love Chip and Dale. Monterey Jack was one of my favourite characters. Just his obsession with cheese. So yeah, I did think about doing Chip and Dale just because I love it. D, we did Due South, and we kind of cheated and did DuckTales, which covers a lot of ground there. E, oh yeah, that was my cheat day. That was when I did Jack Edwards. Anyone can fall in love. It's not hard to do. Na, 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 na. I fucking hate EastEnders. Like, to be fair, EastEnders was a big part of growing up. It was always on. My parents watched it. Martine McCutcheon was my first love. When she died, I died a little inside too. Bloody Frank in that car. But yeah, I also kind of thought about doing Erie, Indiana, but I can't even remember the Erie, Indiana theme tune. If anyone doesn't remember Erie, Indiana, it was it's kind of like the Twilight Zone for kids. And it had John Astin. It had Jason Marsden as what was his character's name? Omri Katz was the lead character. And it's one of those shows that actually, you go back and watch it now, it is still really, really good. It's not, a lot of kids, it's shows that you loved when you were young, you go back and watch them and they really haven't aged well. Like even the Disney Club stuff actually has not aged well. But Erie, Indiana still really holds up. It only ever actually ran for 13 episodes, which really surprised me when I got the DVD box set, because I remember it being on all the time. Like, it was one of those early morning Channel 4 shows. It was around the same time as, like, Secret World of Alex Mack, which is another show that was amazing. I'll go back and do that. That probably hasn't aged well, because there was a lot of CGI in that, and she used to turn into goop. But yeah, Erie, Indiana was brilliant. F. We did Fraggle Rock, because Fraggle Rock was a big part of my childhood. But of course, there were a few other ones that were also very strong. The first one being Firefly, which was, Can't Stop the Signal. Joss Whedon's very short-lived Cowboys in Space, which is one of the best shows ever made. It's not very, I don't personally think it's a good rewatcher. I don't know, I've tried to rewatch it a few times and sort of zone out around Jamestown. But Firefly was great. We watched it quite a lot at university. But yeah, let's see if I can. Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stay. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me. Take me out to the black, tell 'em I ain't coming back. Burn the land and boil the sea. You can't take the sky from me. There's no place I can be since I found serenity. But you can't take the sky from me. Another one, there's been quite a few. I really want a banjo at the moment. Can't see how I'm going to afford one for a while, because I've just had a phone call from the car people, because they told me, the MOT people told me to phone the finance people and they might be able to help me. But no, the finance people now want all the money as soon as possible. So I've just spent more time on the phone to the Visa people to try and get that money back. It's a bloody nightmare. But anyway, what was I saying? Banjo, not going to have one for a while. Probably cost me about 200 quid. GoFundMe. Maybe that's what I should do. Or GoFundMe to sort out my poxy car. I don't know. Sorry, I wasn't going to let that get into the rants. Ironically, another F that I really wanted to do was Full House. And Full House was our favourite show. And I've watched the crap out of it. I've watched all of Fuller House. Actually, I haven't watched the most recent season because I think that only just dropped. But I like Full House. Don't know if I'm ever going to watch it again. I think my trip to San Francisco is probably not going to happen anymore. But whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, and evening TV. Miss your old familiar friends waiting round the bend. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a face, somebody who needs you. And it goes on. No, I really did love Full House. I don't know why it was never popular in the UK. Because it wasn't. I hadn't actually heard of it until I went to Japan at all. And I'm a huge Mary-Kate and Ashley fan until they killed Heath Ledger. But yeah, I don't know why Full House. It was for UK people who don't know what it was. It was a show that started Mary-Kate and Ashley's career. They were babies in it and grew up with the show. So it ran for 10 seasons. And she had that catchphrase, "You got it, dude." And it was just a really lovely, heartfelt, it was about dad. Mum dies just before the show starts, and so Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey move in. Joey's the best friend from school or something. And they look after the three kids. It's essentially Three Men and a Baby, the TV series in a lot of ways, but it's really lovely. Maybe I should reclaim it. I don't know. I think there's too many memories with that. But yeah. G was Glee, obviously. I did think about doing Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Doing Skipper the Eye Child. Daddy, don't forget me, I haven't, but you're dead. But I didn't, because Glee is just one of my favourite shows ever. So, yeah. H was an interesting one. I don't know why I did Heathcliff in the end. I just fancied doing it. And stupidly, I didn't even think of How I Met Your Mother. I probably would have worked out how to do the Suit song from How I Met Your Mother, because I really enjoyed How I Met Your Mother. Single man in his 30s trying to find, well, anyway, wonder why. But I one that I was, as I mentioned, I was going to do House, and because House, I don't know, I've never really been into medical stuff, which is funny considering how much I love Scrubs, but I think the Hugh Laurie factor and, who else was in House? You had Chi McBride. He was the song that I'm about to do. I can't remember. Jennifer Morrison was beautiful in it. And obviously Sean... Oh, God. IMDb is not working in my brain at the moment. Sean... You know who I mean. He's the young lad from Dead Poets Society. He's the oncologist who ironically gets cancer. I do feel like Omar Epps is... Omar Epps? Yeah. It's a great show. It's a really great show. And I think, it manages to be funny and heartfelt, and you give a shit about those characters. I mean, I stopped watching it for years when Kuttner died because I loved Kuttner, and the fact that there was no explanation for his suicide, I couldn't do that. House always had an explanation, and I know that was the point of not having the explanation, but it just didn't. It annoyed me too much, and so I think that's season 4, and then I stopped watching until the final season started, and I thought, you know what, I've got to get back into House, and so I did, and loved every minute of it in the end. But there's a wonderful bit where Chi McBride is playing the hospital administrator, and I can't remember exactly what happens, because I think it's end of season 1 or possibly season 2. And House gets a win. He does something that fucks over Chi McBride's character, and he's just in his office, and he's dancing by himself to a little bit of oh, sugar, no, there we go. I fight for my meals. I get my back into my living. I don't need to fight to prove I'm right. I don't need to be forgiven. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love that song. And it's just brilliant, and he does all the miming of it all. It's great. It's a really good episode. So yeah, I did It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in the end, but I was very close to doing The In-Betweeners, because I stand by The In-Betweeners is the best representation of teenage boys that has ever been put to celluloid. It is so clever and so real, and yeah, I adore it. So I was going to do, and there's so much good music in it as well, but the one song that let's see if I can remember how to do it. Hang on. Used to get it in your fishnets, now you want to get it in your night dress. Discovered all the nice niceness, finding it a very common crisis. Everything's not in a black hole, nothing seems pretty as a pasto. Bloody Mary's like New Tabasco. Remember when you used to be a rascal? Though the boys were sly. The best you ever had, the best you ever had is just a memory of those dreams. As daft as they seem, as daft as they seem, my love, when you dream them up. You're flicking you through your little book of sex tips. Remember when the boys are all electric, not really gonna get it. Guessing that you'd rather just forget it. Ringing out to getting sentimental. Said you rather don't, but you went still. Likes gentlemen to be gentle. Make the door or a betting pencil. Oh, the boys are sly. The best you ever had, the best you ever had is just a memory. And exactly. But yeah, so I did think about doing that. I think I did some Kate Nash before, didn't I? Hang on. What is it? It's because that's in the first episode, I think. But yeah, I did some Kate Nash in season 1, didn't I? But yeah, so In-Betweeners, I just think it's brilliant. I did try and work out how to do which I could have done just like that, really. But yeah, In-Betweeners is wonderful. It really is. I also thought about doing the IT Crowd, which is a show that I love. I quote far too much. I love Richard Ayoade. but I couldn't work out. It would have been piano and kazoo and just but I couldn't work out the chords on the piano, so didn't do it. And It's Always Sunny. It was fun doing Dayman. That was probably the one that I had the most fun with, actually. Yeah, so where have we got to? Jay. What did I do for Jay in the end? Oh, Jeeves and Mustard. Yeah. I did think about doing Jonathan Creek. We used to have a joke, because obviously I look the way that I do, and I didn't used to have a beard at uni, and our friend Kate was the spitting image of Carolyn Quentin. And she looked like Carolyn Quentin. She sounded exactly like Catherine Parkinson. Exactly like her. It was brilliant. But we did used to joke about doing Jonathan Creek, the early years. And I remember Tim, God, it must have been his 21st, I guess. I don't know. We always did things for birthdays. It didn't matter whether it was a big one, did it? Well, that was really weird. I was panicked. I'd lost all of that. My camera just stopped. I don't know why. I think it was a storage thing. Because I had all of the videos that I've done. What was I saying? So Tim's 21st birthday. We did a murder mystery. We all dressed as famous detectives, and of course I went as Jonathan Creek, and it was great fun, really good fun. But I'll be buggered if I can learn how to play Dance Macabre on the piano or on anything. In fact, because I'm not actually very good at anything that I can play. So I didn't do Jonathan Creek. K was Kim Possible. And I don't think there were any other big contenders for K that I can think of. L, we covered both Lost and The Littlest Hobo. And then M, we did The Muppets. And I did think for a moment, I don't know if I can find the chords for it though. I did think about doing Maid Marian. Why don't you marry Ann with all your merry men? 'Cause there is always trouble brewing. Something like that. Maid Marian and a Merry Men, for those who don't remember, was really cool. It was like Blackadder for kids. It was written by Tony Robinson, and it was sort of a retelling of Robin Hood, where Robin Hood was an idiot and Maid Marian was the brains behind it all. And it had Danny John Jules as Raffleston. And I remember when I interviewed him the first time, I've interviewed him twice actually, which has been quite cool. The first time he did the Pancake Day song for me, which is, it's Pancake Day, yes it's Pancake Day, yes it's Pancake Day. And it was just one of the best moments of my sort of interviewing career, actually. It was brilliant. But yeah, that was a great show. And then Monsters was another one I thought about doing. Again, a bit complicated on anything. But I love the Monsters as much as I loved the Addams Family. I think they were actually two very different shows. They often get kind of clumped together, but the Monsters was sillier. Like, I feel like the Addams Family actually dealt with some real family issues, whereas the Monsters, it was a bit more fun. Whereas they're probably not giving justice to the Addams Family there, because the Addams Family was hilarious, but the Monsters was great as well, and I think it does sometimes get forgotten. N was tricky, because I couldn't really think. I did think about Nevermind the Buzzcocks, but then what do you do for that? Because that's all music ever. And, you know, I'll never forget the day at the Edinburgh Fringe when Simon Amstel told me I was beautiful. It was a good day. But But I love the Buzzcocks. I don't understand why Nevermind the Buzzcocks isn't still on when bloody Question of Sport is. That's ridiculous. O. What did I do for O? What did I do for O? Can't remember now. But there was a big one for O, which I didn't do. And it's something that I really want to claim back, and it is One Piece, which, for those who don't know, you will have seen me wearing One Piece t-shirts. It's my favourite anime ever. And it's about pirates, and it's just brilliant. There's a chef who fights only with kicks because he wants to protect his hands. You know, you've got Nami and Robin. My guinea pigs were both named after One Piece characters. Neither of them are with us anymore. But One Piece, I mean, you know, I've got my figures. I really loved it. I really, really did. And after she'd gone, I did think about getting rid of all my One Piece stuff, but I thought no, because yes, she introduced me to it, but it's also, you know, I think I'm up to like episode 500 out of the 900 that there are. I've invested hours of my life into One Piece, and funnily enough, for our 10th anniversary, I was going to recreate, I did ask Dee and Chad to help me out with this. We were going to recreate the opening of One Piece, and I was going to dress as everyone. But I fucking love One Piece. I think it's a great show. So... 愛つけろ夢をかき集め探し物 That's really 愛つけろ There we go 愛つけろ夢をかき集め探し物を探しに行くのさポケットの恋それと You wanna be my friend Yeah, I want to claim it back. I'm not ready yet, but I will be soon. Yeah, we'll come to that. P. So, hang on, can I remember? Can't remember how to play it now. Obviously, I could have done... Oh, hang on. I want to be the very best. But I've done it already, and I've forgotten how to play it now. What did I do? Oh, I did Power Rangers. I cheated a little bit. Power Rangers, Power Rangers is huge for me. Where's the Megazord? There he is, over there. Pokemon obviously is huge for me, but I had already done it, so I didn't want to do it again. Although I could have done, I suppose I could have done, there's a song, I wonder if the chords, how are we doing? Yeah. There was a song from the Pokemon movie that I remember Matt and I just loved. I think we both had it on single, by a band called M to M, and one of those M's was can't remember her name now, but she did with Meatloaf. She did there were days when the wind was so cold, blah 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 blah. What is that? So is it all coming back to me? I think it is. But there was this one from the Pokemon movie, which was, it's just delightfully twee. Let's see if I can actually do it. But it's don't say you love me, you don't even know me. If you really want me, just give me some time. It's really high. It's actually don't say you love me, you don't even know me, baby. Which was really cute. I could have done that, I suppose, but no, I wanted to get Power Rangers in. I had to get Power Rangers in somewhere, and obviously Muppets or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was a difficult choice, so I decided to cheat a bit further down the line. We kind of, you know what, there's not loads left, actually, surprisingly. Q, what did I do for Q? I can't remember now. Wasn't question of sport, certainly. No, I did think about doing QI, but again, I wasn't really sure how to do that one. Was the raccoons, but there was another show that was, let me see. Some of you will probably remember the absolutely wonderful Round the Twist, which was written by Paul Jennings, I want to say, who did all those books that you saw at the book fairs. Like had bogies on them and things. I'm sure I found some chords for this. I need to sneeze as well. Excuse me. But yeah, Round the Twist was great. It was this lovely Australian kind of odd supernatural. It was about a family who moved into a lighthouse. And the lighthouse was haunted, and there was Bronson. What were the kids called? Bronson? Oh, it was this one. I don't know why that's playing automatically. Oh, it's one of these weird Chordify things, that's why. But no, Round the Twist was... I'm just going to let that play instead. Round the Twist was great, and I remember there was an episode called Little Black Balls, was one that always really stuck with me, where Bronson was tasked to look after this opal, and for some reason he also had a goat, and the goat ate the opal, and he was having to sift through all the goat shit to find this opal. There was the one as well where, what was her name? Linda was the girl's name. Fell in love with this guy, and he started getting like fingernails growing. I think it was called nails, possibly. He started getting fingernails growing all down his hands, and it was really, really fucking scary, actually. And it transpired he was a mermaid, and it was just a lovely show. So I'm going to let that shush now. But yeah, Round the Twist was great. And maybe I couldn't find the chords, and that was why. S. So we did Scrubs, obviously, but there was one. There was one obvious one, and one of my favourite cartoons growing up. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. You know we got a mystery to solve, so Scooby-Doo, get ready for your act. Don't talk back. And Scooby-Doo, when you come through, you're gonna get yourself a Scooby snack. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you pretending you got a sliver, but you're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. So come on, Scooby-Doo, I need you. Something, something, something. So come on, Scooby-Doo, I need you. We're gonna catch that villain. Yeah, I love Scooby-Doo. I really do. So much. So much so, I even loved the Scooby-Doo movies. I thought they were brilliant. I thought they were really well captured. Scooby-Doo. But yeah, I really, really, really did love Scooby-Doo very much. What else have we got? There's not many more to talk through, really. You know what? I'll save that. We'll come back to T because I can blast through. You was tricky, but we did Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. What did I sing from that? Oh, the Lion King song from the end. I was thinking about doing Pinot Noir, but again, I couldn't think how to do it. V was tricky, really tricky, because it wasn't until the day that I actually thought of as in practice. I was almost going to end up doing Viva S Club, which was the name they gave like the 4th season of S Club Miami or whatever the hell the S Club TV show, because I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a good show as a kid. W was obviously The Walking Dead. X. I did think about doing X-Files, actually, because I liked it. It wasn't, as I said on the X-Men video, like, I only really got into it because Erin was really into it, and I wanted to impress her, because that was who I was. But I seem to recall, unless I'm imagining it, Walking in Memphis did crop up, and I have really been trying to practice this because it's something I really want to be able to play. But oh, that's a great start. Huh. Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy, won't you look down over me? 'Cause yeah, I got a first class ticket. I'm as blue as a boy can be, and I'm walking in Memphis. I give up. One day, I promise you, after about 2 hours of practicing it the other day, I did manage to get through it. Badly. So yeah, Young Ones for Y was an easy choice. Z was tricky. Oh no, I wrote my own song for Z, didn't I? Because there was nothing that I gave a shit about for Z. I did watch Z Nation, actually, up until... I really enjoyed it, actually. It's absolute crap, but it's hilarious crap. And it's got DJ Qualls in, and any Magic Tavern fans will know why that tickles me. But yeah, Z as well. The Zoo was a show I think I only watched a handful of episodes of that. Another one that I really enjoyed. I think they were both Sci-Fi Channel, weren't they? Z Nation and Zoo, possibly. But to finish us off, just so we go out on a relatively high note, let's see if I can find it. Because there's a story with this. So, we did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for obvious reasons. But one show that actually has a weird amount of meaning for me is That 70s Show. And the story is, I'll never forget, we were in W.H. Smith in Aberystwyth, and they had the first season of That 70s Show on DVD. And took it to the counter, and I was really excited because I remember watching it on Channel 5. And I also remember watching, what was it called? I think it was called Days Like These, which was the British remake of That 70s Show. It's very odd to have it the other way around. It's usually Americans remake. But there was a British remake of That 70s Show, and it had... The only person that I can definitely remember was the beautiful woman who was the receptionist in Hotel Babylon, and I can't remember her name, but she played the Mila Kunis character, Jackie. But it just didn't work in Britain. I don't know why. It just didn't. They used exactly the same script as well, but just anglicised it, much like Americans do with most of the remakes of our sitcoms. But I loved That 70s Show so much, and we took the DVD to the counter and didn't have it. Don't know why, can't remember why, but I ended up, and this was the very early days of like Zavi Online and things like that. So I did order it, and it came, and I loved it again, and I continued to collect the DVD box sets of That 70s Show. And I remember I would buy them all for special occasions, when something good happened, something big happened. And I still don't have the final season. And I remember saying to Adam Lacey years ago, I will buy the final season when everything works out. And I haven't bought it yet. Okay, we cut out again there. I don't know why, but all I was going to say was I haven't bought it yet. And maybe I will at some point. I don't know. We'll see. We'll work everything out first. But to play us out, here's a little bit of Cheap Trick. So... Hanging out down the street, the same old thing we did last week. Not a thing to do but talk to you. Ooh. Hello, Wisconsin. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-boom. Right, so that has been, with some technical difficulties, which I don't know why, that has been the director's notes and commentary for The Greater Z. I hope you've enjoyed. If you are still watching, I hope I can manage to splice all of this together as well. God knows what's going on with my phone. So, Season 4. I've had a lot of requests for original songs, and I don't have loads, I'll be honest. I haven't written anything in a very long time, but maybe that's the challenge. I think what I might do, I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow, but maybe I'll give you some of my original stuff. I might give you an original song a day for as long as that might last. So we'll see what happens. Thank you once again for joining me on this journey, and I still can't believe I've managed to put out a song every day for 3 months now. That's nuts. Or a video, at least. These don't necessarily... Well, these are multiple songs. Shut up, Gray. You shut up. But yeah, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. But ciao for now.